grapes for this Halloween, and if you're wondering why my boyfriend loves grapes, you can tell that by the fact that he ate all of those on my back. Now me, on the other hand, I am kind of fussy about my fruits. I love berries, so maybe next year I'll be a raspberry. Though I highly doubt it given how uncomfortable this costume is. In my country, we don't really celebrate Halloween, so I am not going trick-or-treating because a 24-year-old dressed as grapes asking for sweets in my apartment building, as much as that would be hilarious, I do not really want to be the ridicule of my neighbors. So instead of that, I'm going to read my first horror book in this cute but insanely uncomfortable costume. Let me give you a tour. I have one grape on my hand, then there are the bunch of grapes in front of me, which are tied together with rope. Here are my vines and my makeup, which, might I add, I'm a bit proud of. It's blue because I didn't have any purple eyeshadow, and I just wanted to do something more than my regular makeup, so I think I actually ate. Now, the annoying thing about this costume, apart from not being able to see or sit properly, when I talk, I need to sit very still because the mic will pick up all this. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Now, I haven't read a horror book before, so I am kind of excited about it. Whenever I read thriller books, I find myself wanting more gore or more striking themes. So horror might actually be what I am looking for. Now, I've looked on TikTok and searched for the most popular horror books right now, and I found 3 of them. We Used to Live Here, Pen Pal, and Brother. Now, before choosing one, I'm gonna tell you what each of them is about, in case you are looking for horror book recs. We Used to Live Here is super popular right now, and it's a psychological horror about a couple renovating a house when strangers show up saying they used to live there and they never leave. It's described as being claustrophobic, fast-paced, and you are being left with questions at the end. Pen Pal, on the other hand, is quite creepy, from what I've gathered. A slow burn horror with childhood memories. This guy realizes that his pen pal project wasn't as innocent as he thought it was. It is short and unsettling. Now, Brother, on the other hand, it's dark and heavy, and it's about this boy who lives in a cannibalistic family. His family kills people and then eats them, basically. And the ending is supposed to be unexpected. Now, this is actually the one I'll be reading today, and I am very scared because it is about a 5-hour read, I think, and I have no idea how I'm going to be able to read in this costume. But as you already know, I am no quitter, so I am going to do it. Now, at some point in the past, I switched to physical books, and I don't really like reading on my Kindle or on my phone, but I couldn't find this book in any bookstore around me, so unfortunately, we will have to stick to technology with this one. And I'm just looking for my Kindle. Here it is! Wish me good luck. I am just going to find a comfortable position and read for 5 hours. This might look insanely uncomfortable, but it feels quite nice being covered, you know? Chapters in, and boy, is this a ride. First of all, it starts with the main character, Michael, having to chase down a girl who's been tortured by his mom and his brother and managed to escape. Michael being the fastest one. He is basically chasing dinner. A girl as dinner. So we have a family of 5. 2 psycho parents, one of their kids called Reb or Ray. He is a psycho as well, for sure. All 3 of them are psychotic killers. Then we have Michael, the main character, who is 19-year-old, and he is just forced to go with it. He doesn't like what his parents do, but it's just his life, you know? So he has to put up with it. Then we have Misty, the only daughter, who is supposedly also like Michael. He hates what their parents do, but she loves the jewelry of the killed and eaten girls. She's kind of weird. I just read about a girl pleading for her life in the woods and then her head getting smashed by a rock. That is quite gory, and Michael is the one who does that. So I don't know how to feel about the main character. I do understand that he is forced to act like that, but still. And after that scene, the father, named Mark, whatever, he goes, "Good job." So it is truly disturbing. Not only that, but the mother seems to absolutely hate her daughter. Like, she hates her guts. Now, for the writing, I can definitely tell you that this is one of the best writing style I have read. It just flows nicely, and it's not simple, but it's not complicated either. It's easy to read, and it keeps this steady flow with really unexpected comparisons, which I really like in books. Let me read this passage to you. It's a bit long, but you can skip it if you want. As soon as she stood, Michael noticed her right arm hanging limp at her side, looking broken. Whimpering with every step, which was now little more than a desperate jog, she looked like a runner at the 20th mile of a marathon. She was exhausted, but determined to keep going, pulled forward by the promise of a finish line. Except this finish line was at the foot of the Marrow's back porch steps. So, dead, basically. Michael followed her easily, walking behind her as though the two of them were taking an early morning stroll. She shot a glance at him over her shoulder, looked away, and began to sob. It was a distinct cry, hopeless and empty, torn from the chest of the walking dead. I don't know if that sounds good to you, but it does to me. Oh. Okay, that is a bit disgusting. More than a bit disgusting. Being a grape is really hard, but at the same time, I'm just resting my head on these tiny ones, and it's kind of nice, honestly. It's like I'm having pillows all around me. Loud, obnoxious ones, but still pillows. Okay, I am 30% in. This is truly disturbing, alright? The family dynamics are very deranged, and it reminds me of those identification discovery channels on the TV that I was watching way younger than I was supposed to be. You could also say that it's very similar to the vibes in the Ed Gein series documentary. I don't really know how to explain, but it's a very ew, honestly. So this family is freaking weird. You get the present timeline where we have Michael struggling to literally exist in this house with the constant terrifying thought that his brother Reb is going to kill him at any second, because Michael does whatever his older brother asks, even though he is a psychopathic murderer with anger issues, okay? So he literally commands Michael. And then we have the past timeline where the kids are 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds, and we understand why Reb hates his parents so much and his brother. I can't tell you why exactly he hates everyone. I can just say that he blames them for something that happened to his sister, okay? There is definitely grape mentioned in this book, which is kind of disgusting, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get necro in the future, which is insanely disgusting. But I am one to love to read descriptive gore and weird stuff, and I don't know what's going on here. Why do I like to read that? I'm not recommending you to be like that, because you find yourself reading and seeing things you're not supposed to do because you're too damn curious and you just search for them online. That's besides the point. Let's go back to reading. I don't want to read about this. Believe it or not, this is kind of cozy. I cannot tell you. You know, you should thank me for not telling you, honestly, at this point. Just thank me. I am getting the feeling that Reb is going to do something very stupid. That's one thing. The other thing is that I'm kind of happy for Michael that he has found a girl he likes. But at the same time, she is in danger. So you know what, girl, run as fast as you can. You are going to be eaten alive. I am past 50% of the book, and I'm starting to believe that there is no such thing as a horror book. I mean, I'm not scared. Yes, I can be disgusted. Yes, I can be surprised, and I could feel like my skin is literally crawling because the themes in this book, the things that happen, they are really disturbing, right? But I'm not scared. And I doubt a book can make me truly scared. I really wanted to read you an excerpt of a very disturbing scene, but I'm afraid YouTube might strike my video, so I won't do that. Just believe me, it is really bad. Really bad. Honestly, a Big Mac is way better than human flesh. I believe so. So there's no surprise that Michael wants Big Mac. You know, go for it. Change your diet, you know? Oh, that is sick and twisted. Rebel is truly despicable. Despicable. How could he do that? I feel like vomiting. Literally. I am 87% in. I'm curious about the ending because it feels very uncertain right now. The last sentence, for God's sake! Why would she do that? At the same time, the ending makes perfect sense. I am not sure if I want to read another horror book in the near future. I want more graphic thrillers. That's it. I feel at the end that I don't... My grapes. So the book is intriguing and it keeps you into the story. Disgusting, disturbing things like this happen to people. And reading about this book makes me reconsider hitchhiking. I've never been one to consider hitchhiking in my life. I won't get into a stranger's car. My first fear would be crashing and dying in a car crash. I wouldn't even think about what other things could happen because that would stop me in the first place. But hitchhiking? Girl, why would you do that? So no hitchhiking, no being alone in the woods, being alone anywhere. You know what? Do not talk to strangers. Don't look, run. Whenever someone approaches you, just run. You are safer that way. I think the book is good and it's written really well. All those comparisons made it so vivid for me. It was just interesting to have a deep dive into the mind of psychotic characters, and I've always said that I like that in books. I think I've had enough of the Halloween spirit for this year. Oh, rating for the book? For what it is, for a horror book, I think it is a 4 out of 5, maybe 4.5 out of 5. So after 5 hours of reading in this costume, I do believe I deserve a like and a subscribe, don't you? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed my little silly video. I'm gonna see you next time, dressed in my usual pajamas. Hope you have a spooky Halloween. Though this is going to be out a day after Halloween, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. Bye!